Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm going to show you a tool that we're building using the Google Ads API called Porchlight. Porchlight will be used to report out on the performance of people's Google local service ads campaigns. I personally own a house cleaning company that uses Google LSA, and we wanted to build a dashboarding tool that I could use that would give more detailed metrics on how our campaigns are performing out of the box. And then I also want to be able to share it with other people in the same boat, which is why we built this tool. We also have a feature where people can import a CSV file from their CRM to build on the Google Ads data and get more detailed metrics. I'm going to show you all of the metrics that we're pulling and reporting out on from the Google Ads API and also how we're building on that with the CSV data in this demo. So the first step is to click Get Started on our website. Alrighty, and then to log in, people can log in using the Google sign-in. After they have logged in, they'll be able to link their Google local service ads account by logging in again through Google. The first connection that I'm going to show you is just to allow Google sign in so that they can sign in again with Google in the future. And then the second OAuth flow is to connect to Google Ads. And then I'm going to show you some of the permissions that we're requesting as well. But to start, I'm going to click sign in with Google. And then you can see here, Google will allow porchlighthq.com to access name, profile picture, and email address. So again, this is just for sign-in. And then we have our privacy policy here, which we've also attached to this application. Click Continue. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is connect my Google Ads account. This is where we're actually calling the Google Ads API. Same Google account. And I'm going to click Continue. And then we can see the data that we're requesting here. When you allow this access, porchlighthq.com will be able to see, edit, create, and delete Google Ads accounts and data. Obviously, there's this learn more here, and then these are the other services that we are requesting as well. Yeah, so then the user will click through here. We'll let this load for a minute. In the meantime, another thing that we're asking, there we go, Google account connected successfully. And then we also just ask the user what other advertising platforms they're using. This is optional, but it's really just for us to collect data on where we might want to go next with the tool. But I'm just going to click next for now. And then next, this is the feature that I mentioned where the user can upload a CSV from their CRM data to make the data a little bit more robust. And so that's what I'm doing here. Make sure this is all right. And then I'm going to click next. So a couple more questions for the user as they're logging in. This is our terms of service. Select that, allow email notifications, and the privacy policy. I'll click through all of these, and then there's links to these here. Terms of service and our privacy policy. And then we're going to complete the setup. And now we're logged in. So now I'm going to walk you through what the actual tool looks like after the user's logged in. The first thing that I'm going to show you is in the header. Upon logging in, the user will be able to see a little green circle indicating that their Google local service ads account, their Google Ads account, has been linked successfully. This also shows the date of the most recent refresh, and it provides them with the option to refresh the data again. We currently have a cap of 20 refreshes per day per user. And I'm going to show you some of the data. So at the top of the page here, you can see that we're collecting the conversion rate. This uses the Google Ads API to pull in the customer phone number, and then it compares it to the phone numbers that are in the CSV that I just uploaded. And if the phone number shows up in the CSV as well as in that in the API call, then we can confirm that the customer was converted because it's in their CRM. Next, we're looking at call answer rate, average call length, the cost per lead. These are all coming directly from the Google Ads API. For call answer rate, we're actually looking at the percentage of calls that lasted over 60 seconds. If a call was less than 60 seconds, for right now, we're assuming that the call was missed. We have a couple of job numbers. These are coming from the CSV that I imported from the CRM. And then next we've got this chart here showing the cost per lead trend over time. The data to support this graph is also pulled directly from the Google Ads API. And then we have our quality call rate over time. So we can look at the percentage of calls that last over 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. The goal for the user is for these numbers to be as high as possible. Very low numbers indicate that they're either not answering the phone or they're not making the most of their Google local service ads leads because the conversations are ending too quickly. So that's what we're monitoring with this graph here. We've got this what happens when the phone rings section. This is just looking at the conversion rate over time. So it's the same, obviously, conversion rate metric that I was talking about earlier, but it's just shown over month to month. And then we've got a phone call analysis here, looking at the percentage of missed versus answered calls, and then the times of day that the user is the best about answering the phone, and the days of the week that they're the best about answering the phone. Right now, we're not running Google Local Service ads on weekends for my business, so you can see that here. We're only showing Monday through Friday. Again, this is also looking at the calls that are over 1 minute is actually how we're tracking this. Now we have a call answer rate heat map, which again, it's kind of the same metrics, but it's just displayed in a different format. So it shows the time of day and the day of the week that the business is the best and the worst about answering the phone. So these are clearly areas of improvement for my business. And that's what this graph is supposed to show, that between 12 and 2 p.m., we need to get better about answering the phone. And that's what this graph is for. And then similar table here, but this is just the conversion rate heat map. So we'll look at the percentage conversion rate, again, based on the day of the week and the time of day. And then some lead generation patterns here. So this is just looking at the time of day that we get the most Google local service ads leads. This is also coming directly from the Google Ads API. It's not looking at phone answer rate or conversion rate. It's just the sheer number of leads. And then we've got that by the day of the week. And then the amount of leads that the business got over time. Again, all coming directly from that API. Here we've got a revenue section with a breakdown of the business's revenue month over month. This is 100% coming from that CSV that I imported from my CRM. This does not come from the Google Ads API. And then we've got at the bottom here a customer retention analysis. So most of this is coming also from that CSV, but the LSA cost per recurring customer is looking at the cost per lead and then the cost to convert a recurring customer because a lower percentage of the customers for the business are recurring. And so based on that, we're determining that the average cost of a recurring customer is this amount here. And then we've got some notes as well for the user, opportunities, and recommendations. Finally, if the user wants to remove their data from Porchlight, scroll back up to the top here and going to click Settings, Integrations, and then under Google Ads, I would click the Break Google Ads link. If they unlink their data, it deletes all of their data, including all performance metrics and their refresh token. So that's the tool. A couple more things to call out as we're wrapping up here related to security. All personally identifiable information, such as user emails and profile data, is encrypted or hashed in our database. OAuth refresh tokens are stored securely using Google's secret manager, ensuring that they're never exposed in code or logs. All API calls and token handling occur server-side over HTTPS, and user data is isolated to individual accounts. Our app only requests and stores information vital for creating the dashboards shown to users, and there is no additional Google API scopes being requested beyond what is required to retrieve Google Ads performance data. Thank you.